My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. One in a million like Elise. My words come with 50 million in the base. Set my intention, let it marinate. Get together, vibe dope and you get rid of weight. We come together, we need each other in a special way. Sun gazing, Pinot Glendy calcification. Sunbathing this neural melanin activated. Daily affirmations of truth, no affidavit. Shadow work can be a big part of manifestation. I don't want it if it's tainted. And I'm not here to be famous. It's a lot that I came with. I did a lot of explaining. And I talk it how I live it. You don't evolve, then you fall for anything you giving. I'm giving everything that I got and what I'm missing. I'm working on myself, can be my worst critic. Yeah, can be my third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't hear you, God.
Y'all know the vibes. Peace, family, big energy. Shadow work Sundays, shadow codes to light work. I am King Manifest.
It's the big Kai, you dig what I'm saying? We here back for another episode, man, and we finna go very, very deep today, you dig? So I hope y'all just in a place of being able to retain information and most intrinsically put it to use, because it's fast activations.
And definitely an open mind, an open perspective. You know what I'm saying? We shifting, family. You know what I mean? I think we all know that. You know, we are shifting in a major way, in many ways, in the downloads that are happening, the access, you know, to our ancestors. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's a great time to be alive. And so we are definitely tapping in with Shadow Code for light work. And so, as we always do, much gratitude to the tribe. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. You know what I mean? We healing, we elevating, we activating, and we are most importantly becoming one. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll say.
Definitely, man. Yeah, bro. Y'all get ready for this episode.
Yeah, let's go and ground ourselves, because we lit. So let's go and ground ourselves. So we're gonna start off with the root chakra bell. And so at this time, as I always say, become vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Become one with self. You know what I mean? And just take this moment serious. You know, this is a moment of self-love. Nothing is more important than you loving yourself. I say. So now at this moment, we're gonna tap in with the Rainbow Collective. Once again, another reminder that we are one. All right, let's get it.
I gotta go out and come back in. I can't hear it. Real quick.
All right, for sure. So family, at this time, I guess I'll make a quick announcement. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of shifts happening. And so at this current moment, now I gotta wait on bro. Sorry, family. I got y'all. I gotta wait on bro. I can't tell y'all without bro.
All right, be back.
Yo, you back?
We back. Yep. H. Yep.
So I guess y'all know at the end of the episode. You know what I'm saying?
I guess we know at the end. All right. We finna tap into the brain jams. Since we tapping in on this topic today, we just gonna take it back to the basics, put our fingertips together and go in a circular motion. Make sure you're going forwards and backwards. This is dealing all with the brain, with the mind's eye, pineal gland, pituitary gland, and we're here to shift perspectives today and be accountable in the perspectives that we're shifting in. So once we do that, bring that energy down to middle of the palm, dealing with the pancreas, reproductive organs, sacral chakra energy. So we're going to help create a new reality today, a new perspective today, a new version of yourself today. And most intrinsically, right under the ring finger, create some pressure there, bring that up to the heart space and the thymus gland. Again, once you're doing these different reflexology points, you need to make sure that you're staying aware of the energy that you feel in your body, because you can communicate with it. Now, thymus gland. Come fully present. And King, take it away with the heart space. Sing it, boo.
I say. So at this moment, if you're new to Shadow Work Sundays, you know, and if you're not, just a reminder, meditate, become one, do a little breath work, and receive, you know, the balance that the 432 hertz, you know, brings to the heart space and to our nervous system. Let me do that again. I had something. I was like, something was blocking it. So apologies. I see. And so, once again, much gratitude to the tribe. Today's subject is false lights creating false realities. And so, in this perspective and understanding, you know, how the whole community thing works, you know, we don't really subscribe with ourselves as being a part of any community in that gang mentality or religious perspective, but actually connecting with the oneness of source and just, you know, the holistic aspect, you know, the true meaning of what the Neteru is as a whole. That is all the gods as a whole. That's the Neteru, all the gods. You know, and so when we're not moving from that place or operating from that energy, then we are being taken over by something. And this something can be an influence of a reflection, which is what we're going to dive deeper on. But that influence can create an MK Ultra type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And so to ground this energy and then also prepare us, open up the hearts. Y'all know we love to operate from the sound vibration and the sound frequency. So we're gonna start this episode off with MK Ultra off of our Shadow Realms project.
Let's see. Listen with your vibration.
Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff? Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff? Can I see the real? You take off that makeup. Just because you spiritual don't mean we try, bro.
We gotta keep it a buck, you feel me?
The universe will align us. Is it really phone say
I ain't rocking with your vibration.
Can I see the real? You take off that makeup. Just because you spiritual don't mean
King
we try,
manifest.
bro. It's divine. The universe will align us.
Perfect alignment, outside perfect timing, I'm gone. Sign what you want, partner. Protecting my energy. It's like y'all believe in anything. Now I ain't buying what you selling me. Plus my discernment is high. I see you trying to be hot. Posting your little TikToks. Full of misinformation. Manipulating through lies. I am Leo the Fire. Inspire my people to rise. So many ages. They look like us, but they racist. The infiltration cost us a lot. We still making payments. Chosen ones, Christ's body. We are one. Solar plexus getting a serious charge from the sun. I'm activated on a mission with the tribe is up. Shadow work is needed to be tribe is us.
Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff? Can I see the real? You take off that makeup. Just because you spiritual don't mean we try, bro. If it's divine, the universe will align us. Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff? Can I see the real? You take off that makeup. Just because you spiritual don't mean we try, bro. If it's divine, the universe will align us.
Hey, what's a king to a god? What's the real to a fraud? Steady giving views to fake teachers, then they go lock up Rashad. Free to God. You think we can't tell you about? We can see that you're not what you are. You see some people is real and some people is fake. Just depends who you put on. Even if y'all going click up in this life game, I can still see the time clock. We ain't in the streets, but I'm seeing spiritual ops. Are you really getting downloads and channeling what you brought to our people just for self-liberation and free thought? Or are you taking notes and reading hella scripts on the spot? It's a difference, my naga. Hey, look, why you tripping, my naga? You telling folks that you plant-based and you secretly eating chicken, my naga. MK Ultra programming, passing people through the word, casting from the false prophet. Better watch your favorite TikToker. They might be an Agent Smith trying to talk to you.
Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff?
That fake stuff.
Yeah. Is it really phone say now when you do fake stuff?
That fake stuff.
Big energy, you know what I'm saying? You know the vibes, you feel me? So we definitely got to set the tone. What's the vibes, bro?
We good.
All right, for sure.
I had to fix my sound. Yeah, we here.
Mic check, 1, 2.
We here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we here.
So I love this comment, you feel me? This is a great way to set the tone, you know what I'm saying? We ready for this Sunday, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So they say we ready, we lit, you know what I mean?
That's my dog Beyond, man. Y'all go tap in with him. You dig what I'm saying? He creates fashion wear from a holistic vibration. You dig what I'm saying? You can see the profile picture. It says Beyond with the, the spiral in there. So we ain't gonna go too deep on that, but what we is gonna go deep on is this topic tonight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is a topic that everybody should be excited for, because it screams like the energy during the Mercury retrograde, or as far as like, you doing shadow work during that time, and it's like, you can knock it out. This is one of those type of episodes, so where it's like, when you gain an awareness of this perspective, it's gonna allow you to get to the root of so many aspects of your problems and situations in your life. So make sure y'all just stay in tune and taking notes, man, because it's one of those.
For sure. So we definitely tapping in. And so obviously a lot of us we were taught to live in a perspective to think of ourselves as reflection, right? So we would say peace reflection. And that's something that would that kind of like rapidly went through the community. So let me get some water. Hold on, again. So a lot of times we say words and we don't understand the meaning of them. We don't do research. We don't study what a reflection is. What is that? So we're gonna get into all that, but not yet. First, we're gonna start off and give y'all an example of false light and source. And so we all know what the sun and the moon is. And we are all on Earth, planet Ka, Tiamat, whatever you want to call it, right? Many other names. The moon is actually a dormant space. It is a non-luminous thing. It's non-luminous versus the sun. Obviously, is the opposite. The moon only gets its light and projects its light onto the planet based off of the light that is coming from the sun.
Real quick, just to tap y'all in on the perspective that he's talking about, when you have a sun and it runs out of fuel, that sun begins to transmute into what is called a red giant. And then from a red giant, as it is continuing to lose fuel or transcend or have a rebirth process, it begins to crystallize from the inside out. And that is therefore how you have a moon. That's what a moon is created from. A moon is actually a crystallized form of a sun. So this luminary aspect or this aspect of the moon, it only projects light based off of how much light the sun can give or project through it, based off of it being a crystalline structure, just like your soul. So the same way we integrate biophotons to experience, so does the moon. But continue with the download.
So let's just look at it.
Yeah.
So this is an example of a pure reflection.
Facts.
Right? That is a reflection. And so, matter of fact, let me go ahead and tap in on this real quick and set the tone. So a reflection is actually, the etymology of reflection is bend back. And so whenever we're speaking about this reflection aspect or perspective, we are speaking from a descending perspective instead of a ascending perspective. Source is an ascending, us looking at each other as source, as one. That is us constantly upgrading and evolving, because God in the Neteru is the evolution. We are the evolution of God. You see what I'm saying? So when we are saying we are reflections, we are bending back. We are. I'm embodying Ka and all of his misfortunes, all of his shadows, all of his karma, all of his. I'm embodying all of that instead of looking at him as a whole being, as one, as myself, and embodying myself as him and him as me, not as a reflection, but as one. You see what I'm saying? So
exactly. Another way that you could look at it is like when you outside and you on your phone and you seeing that light like flashing on the wall. It's because your phone is actually bending the light from the sun to project on the wall. So again, the word reflect, sun, flex, meaning to bend back. You're bending back someone else's projection that they're supposed to be inhabiting within themselves. So you have to be mindful of these words that you use, especially words like reflection, because when you peace reflection, wholeness reflection, you have to really, if you are to use that vibration, you are to really understand what you are reflecting to that person and what they are reflecting back to you. Because 9 times out of 10, it's always gonna reflect back to you that bent light, or light that is absent of a shadow. You dig what I'm saying? And that's what we have to be aware of, and
You
what
know
we're gonna
why?
go deep into.
Because at the end of the day, you are source. No matter what you say, or even if we say whatever we do, we are source. So we still manifest things on that level. You see what I'm saying? So we still end up it still end up going back to source, back to darkness. The sun is manifesting light out of darkness. That is who we are, and how in our most powerful alchemy.
Facts.
You know, being able to do that. That's the shadow codes to light work. Being able to do that in the blink of an eye, back and forth, until we evolve and elevate and unlock these multi-dimensions within ourselves, and actually unlock our divine matrix, or what some would call the Merkaba. But if we're constantly focused on being reflections, then therefore we are accepting projections.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's what we have to understand. And in using that vibration, it's just that, accepting the projection. We're only supposed to be integrating programs that are to help us grow. So if we are constantly looking at something that's being projected at back to us as something that's happening to us, we're feeding into that. You dig what I'm saying? So a way for us to understand that aspect of us being empaths, because that's just something that everybody naturally experiences. We all have the ability to feel somebody else's emotion, but the key is, which I was explaining to somebody, is not being able to absorb it, but to integrate it. Absorption and integration is 2 different things. So if you are using that vibration of reflection, you need to be able to understand when you are absorbing and when you are integrating. And 9 times out of 10, when you are reflecting, you are absorbing that person's energy. Hence why you feel so much. Hence why you're overthinking about things that they say, or whatever the case may be. So you need to stop yourself and realize how much you're absorbing, and realize that that same projection that they are projecting onto you, that you're absorbing, you need to integrate it. And the way that you do that is by separating from it. So in separating from it, you can then look at it full spectrum and understand this thing needed to happen because it was an aspect of myself that was being reflected or projected from my reality, and I was being too personal about it. I was taking it too personal. I was thinking it was happening to me. So again, understanding that if you are using that reflection vibration, your vibration is being reflected in that person, because they are inhabiting aspects of a soul that have aspects of you that you don't even realize. So again, realizing that.
I got an example. I got an example, right? That came to me. So imagine, this is going to be a crazy example, but just walk with me. Imagine you Tupac, right? And you're seeing yourself on screen as a hologram. Matter of fact, not even that. Let's say that you grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You was in your teens in the 90s, and you saw Pac. You got to see Pac when he performed on stage. You got to see him in real time. And then imagine coming back into 2023, you see what I'm saying? And now they have a holographic version of Tupac. You feel me? Some people won't know the difference. Some people will. And that's why I really wanted to use the two, like you being Tupac example, because it's really about ourselves, seeing this authentic part of ourselves and this holographic part of ourselves that we kind of create and we merge with, and we accept this reflection or this projection of us instead of walking with the real us. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because truthfully, this projection or this hologram, you only can see it based off the light that's projecting. But this actual being can walk in the dark and still see in the dark once you become one with that. So it's almost like the reflection is a escape. And I'm gonna get into that, how we use this reflection thing as a part of our escapism. You know what I'm saying? So let me give an example, right? Somebody say, I'm not depressed, and they'll focus on love, light, peace, joy. That's escapism, family. Obviously, we want to vibrate. We desire to vibrate in these high waves and in these certain, you know, amazing vibrations at the same time. If that's not what it is, and you got to face the shadow, and we have to do, you know what I'm saying? We got to really get in, connect with our inner child, relive certain memories, whatever it is. We sometimes use this reflection thing to handicap us.
This is the thing, especially with that aspect of being handicapped. When we, dang, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought, bro. That's gone.
So somebody said, "What's not being projected?" ? That shadow exists and is rarely spoken of. What do we do with that? And so we just keep walking. Let's keep walking, because I'm going to answer that. So we honestly, we've been going in. Trying to see which way I want to go with this. But let's talk about this, right? Before we dive deeper into this, let's talk about the community, right? Let's talk about the teachers, who we are accepting messages from, right? If we are looking at these people, right? And this is including me and Kai. This is anybody, whoever you are tapping in with. If you're looking at them as your reflection and you're accepting any type of projection on them, then also understand that there is a positive to that, but it's about, can you handle it? So say me and Kai getting all these downloads, right? All these upgrades and all these things are happening. You want to accept us as a reflection, but you're in the shadow work right now. You're in deep shadow work. Now you're getting all these upgrades, and now instead of seeing the luminous beings and the things that we're seeing, you're seeing nothing but shadow beings.
Exactly.
So now you feel like you're being attacked by demons.
Exactly.
When truthfully, you just accepted our reflection, and you know what I'm saying? So we really have to be careful.
When we use that reflection aspect or program, the shadow is neglected, because all you're reflecting back to that shadow is an aspect of its light that is not its light. So like King is saying, when we tap in to certain aspects of information and it gives us that rush, right? We reflect that rush. We reflect that positive vibration. But the thing is, again, we're not integrating it to make our cells feed off of it. Therefore, we go back to aspects of people who may not even be feeding that light for themselves. So it just becomes a continuous ripple or a continuous cycle of energy being recycled. So in stopping that whole process, we have to stop reflecting back to the shadow, because the shadow, this is what we got to understand. The shadow has been reflecting this whole time. It ain't never really had the forefront to actually be itself in its truest, most highest vibration. It's always been depicted as lower or this, or how low vibration or demonic or this. So the shadow has been reflecting this whole time. It's been seeing and experiencing reality based off of what you experiencing. So we have to stop reflecting to the shadow, because the shadow not trying to hear that no more. That's why it gets so snappy with us. We think we finna go love talk this. No, the shadow is ready to put some work in, and we have to start reflecting to it and going to it with the actual teachings that we gave our light aspect to be able to teach and heal and project. On the same way, we have to go give the light codes and integrate them and formulate them into a perspective that is digestible for our shadow. And
you know this what? Because our shadow is the most realest part of us. And a reflection is a copy. It's a copycat. It's a copy version. It's not, a reflection has no identity without the light. Versus the shadow, like we're talking about. We're talking about the power of the shadow, but the reflection literally has no identity without the light. But you can be in nothing. Whenever the lights is out, they out. And guess who's living? The shadow is alive. But that reflection has no power at all in that environment. So even in that reflection, it's making us weak. Like I said, the etymology of reflection, I'm not making this up. You see what I'm saying? It means to bend back. So how can we say that we're just from that perspective? We're talking about ascending, elevating. You know what I'm saying? How can we say we're gonna do anything that causes us to fall back? You know what I mean?
And this is why I do like the or utilize in some aspects this reflection word or program, because it does work. You know what I'm saying? If you utilize it the correct way, if you know how to use that code and those programs the correct way, you can actually bend that light that is being projected onto you back into yourself, which is what? Just simply self-accountability. So the same way that people are not taking that self-accountability in the downloads that they give, you can do that by the downloads that you're integrating or absorbing from them and be self-accountable.
But it's not in the reflection aspect. It's in the aspect of the sun projecting on the grass. You know, hitting the grass. It's in that perspective. You see what I'm saying? It's direct, source to source.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The sun is just as powerful as the grass and the tree, and you know what I mean. So that's why I said the Netzeru. We are all God's family. We are all a part of the Netzeru, and that is a oneness. But technically, that is a big mycelium network of sorts.
Exactly, and this is what this is. Can we go here? What makes a false light a false light?
Let's get it.
So, if we're looking at neuromelanin, right? If we're looking at dark matter, if we're looking at the color of what is perceived as black, which we know the etymology of that word is pale, but black, right? Mm-hmm. What colors make up that color? All 7 colors of the rainbow, right? So different aspects or different energies that have their own energy field that is keeping the law of their own energy field, meaning that red isn't mixing with blue, blue isn't mixing with green, red is in red, blue is in blue. And they create this beautiful spectrum called a rainbow, and which when that is integrated properly, it becomes a spectrum of a black hole per se. So when we understand that, right, and then equate that to what a false light is a light that is simply not integrating all aspects of itself and then projecting from the aspects of itself that is not integrating because it's not resonating with it. So
you know,
go ahead.
So you know me, bro. I'm all about the examples. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Me and my wife was talking about this. You know what I'm saying? We was chopping it up about this whole subject, about everything, and you know, she was talking about a flashlight. And I thought that was pretty funny. You know, we talked about this example of how, you know, you go in the room, right? And you have a flashlight, and this flashlight only shows you what the flashlight is on, right? But there's a way bigger picture. And so what you're explaining is, if we can't alchemize it the correct way and move the correct way, then you won't be walking in there with a flashlight, you know, but you will actually be able to, you know, have access to that light switch and be able to see the full picture, the full room. Because you gotta keep in mind, the shadow is kind of like whenever like snipers go into rooms with the goggles, with the night vision goggles, you know what I'm saying? Except it's really light. It's really, you know what I'm saying, luminous. It's really where you actually can see, but it's kind of like going in there with the night vision goggles. You know what I'm saying? But if we're looking at it from a reflection aspect, then we're gonna go in there. We're gonna have to fight some people demons, in layman's terms. Other people demons. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Ain't nothing, you know, with something we could already have been handling and been on a whole nother level and finna get an upgrade or a new whatever, and now we going backwards because we were trying to reflect. And also now we still are a light. So are you gonna be a flashlight, or you gonna have access to light up anywhere you go? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's another aspect of reflecting, again, is that we're always reflecting. Anytime that you have a thought and have a thought about that thought, that is reflecting. So again, that program is necessary and it's vital, but you can get stuck in various vibrations by utilizing that and not understanding why you're having these same cycles over and over again, or these same karmic cycles over and over again. And that's why you need to know how to source your own reflection. Instead of reflecting your own reflection, all you're doing is filtering the same energy over and over again.
Exactly.
You dig what I'm saying? And that can put you in it's like you live in the same timeline over and over again. You dig what I'm saying? So when you begin to source your reflection or integrate the proper emotion to switch the steering wheel in which that reflecting is reflecting on, then you can shine that light on certain aspects of yourself that don't have no light being shone on it. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hit that right spot, that trigger, that you're gonna feel something. And then you go deeper into that.
And you stop gaslighting yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gaslight ourselves a whole lot. And so let's get into, we talk about false light, but let's talk about, false inflation. You know how like in the government, when the war happened, you know what I'm saying? So-called fake war, all the prices go up, everything. You know what I'm saying? So we are paying for extra gas, this and that. But I want to use a herb mattress as an example, or a mattress in general. And this is the difference between the results of going the reflection route and going the source route. So you have this thing that is, like I said, it's an herb mattress. This herb mattress only has life if you put air into it. You can't use it. Other than that, it's flat as a mug. You can't, it's not a bed. You see what I'm saying? So really, it's really an illusion even after you air it up. You can just use this illusion physically. But when you go with source, you actually have that real bed. You will have that custom made, that king size, that custom made, whatever type of cotton you want, whatever type of material. It's your bed. It's whatever it is that you want it to be, and you put in work to build that bed. You saw it. You know it's real. You can touch it. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like this, whenever reflections are, it's like water. If you look at the water, right, you can see yourself in the water. But if you touch that water, you're not touching you. You see what I'm saying? It's not, it's only reflections, to be honest, in my opinion, the best way to use a reflection is actually to do shadow work. But if you're so caught up on the reflection and you lose the shadow, then you caught up on false light. Now that's not shadow work. That's escapism. And now, like Kai is saying, you may go through deep shadow work for like a year, and you like.
This is the thing that's not even deep shadow work, because all you're doing is escaping to the surface level area in which that your shadow can perceive it in the false light consciousness that you have. So it's not even deep. You may think it's deep because you think that you getting through something or you thought about it finally for a couple, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not able to feel shifts internally or experience shifts externally when you're doing this form of shadow work, then that's how you know that you're not going deep enough. And that's why this false light aspect is being brought up, because it's normally seen within aspects of false light. And of course, it's me holding myself accountable. I've experienced it based on the smaller expanded consciousness that I had. I was inhabiting aspects of false light where I thought I was doing shadow work until I had a sat with self, and I'm like, all right, I'm okay, I don't react, you know what I'm saying? But now, why do I still get these feelings? Yes, I may not react, but I still get the vibration. I want the vibration going. And that allowed me to go deeper, transcending past what I perceived as the shadow or just ego, or just sometimes we supposed to snap. No, it went way deeper. And then from there, I actually began to integrate the shadow instead of reflecting to it. Instead of, I don't like you. You ain't this shadow. You ain't. Your shadow's listening to all. Why you think your shadow, your ego be snapping on you? Because all the times where you downplaying yourself, it's taking that in. And you know what I'm saying? So now going and integrating the shadow, you can actually have a dialogue with it. And in doing that, the shadow understands its power in its highest frequency, in its highest vibration, and in its lowest vibration, and how it is supposed to work and co-create with you to create a balanced reality, a balanced lifestyle, and not one that is too much full of light, and not one that is too much full of dense shadow energy, but one that you can fluctuate in between bothly, because you do work in both realms. That's the key. So being able to stay aware of yourself when you know there may be more. Being able to be aware of yourself when you know there's more to what you're experiencing, and not just falling into that experience, because that experience has aspects of itself or perspectives or shadows that you're not seeing. So going into things without awareness, it allows you to automatically trump that false light program or perspective and begin to really become a real light. Because like again, you're holding yourself accountable in the process.
And I think that's deep, that you're saying that, because sometimes we feel like we're not receiving downloads. We're not connecting with our higher self. We're not, all these type of things is happening or not happening, but really it's because we're caught up and we're being blinded by false light.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not able to see these messages and receive these messages because we're blinding ourselves. Like the example you gave earlier, from the sun to the cell phone. Imagine we in the car, me and Kai in the car riding. Kai got his phone, the sun is beaming through his phone, and it hit me in my eye. What is that going to do? It's going to mess with my vision. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to take our vision back. And they manipulate us into thinking that you can't see in the dark. But actually, that is when you really can see for real.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? These eyes, just like a movie is a fake projection of real life, that's what your eyes are. Your eyes are just a fake projection of something that's real.
Exactly. Like I was explaining to Keena earlier, your eyes, what he's speaking on is when you're able to see in the dark and see more, like basic meditation. You close your eyes in meditation, that darkness that you begin to see, if you're paying attention, if you know how to perceive that and see that, your mind's eye, that darkness that you see, it begins to have depth. And then what will happen is that your two physical eyes will begin to go in something called REM, or rapid eye movement. And that rapid eye movement is how you're able to track energy basically on what you're experiencing via your imagination or your cosmic virtual reality. So when you go into the darkness, you're actually able to see what light truly is. This is where you perfect example of this, right? We know how they say outer space is, no. Outer space is actually spacious forms of water, right? Or the sea, right? So when you go under there and you go deep enough, what will you start to see? The fish will start to be what? Fluorescent, neon color, right? The same thing when you go into a meditation and you're able to hone in enough, you'll start to see neon colors. Like you'll start to see different shades of color that are not using what we perceive as this light. That's because it's not powered by this light. It's powered by the shadow.
I've seen colors in darkness that I've never seen with my eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Very luminous, very so yeah, like I feel like this reflection topic, it was and honestly, there's many other downloads to it, but I feel like it's an amazing topic because we always talk about the unlearn and relearn, right? And everybody tends to connect that with coming from religions. I ain't in Christianity no more. I ain't with this. I ain't with that. Whatever. But why don't we connect that to the so-called spiritual community too? Information evolves, one. Secondly, we have to not be so attached to information in certain ways. We have to be connected with, put it like this, if your spirit, you have to, when you listen to someone speak or you're reading something, you listen to your spirit, you listen to source, you listen to these higher aspects of you, and you connect with what downloads they are giving you based off of that information. If that is not happening, and if you're not doing that, then someone else is creating your reality. And therefore, you're not unlearning and relearning. These people are your pastors. These are your new Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
We get too much of a dopamine hit or a wow moment or a like you're starstruck, basically, not off the person, but off the vibration or the new perspective of information. But you gotta understand, the same way that they got it is the same way that you're about to get it based off the downloads that you're getting. So you need to be starstruck of yourself, that you're understanding the information, to not then allow that feeling to shift you into feeding off of their energy because of what they know, so that you can then generate your own light through, again, holding yourself accountable and actually putting in the work. You dig what I'm saying? Like, any video that I watch, I make sure that, I don't care if it's a video that is do this for 5 minutes. If I can't do it for 5, I'm gonna try to do it for 30 seconds. But if it want me to hold a mudra or something, I'm doing it. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm not just trying to take information and know a lot of things. I'm trying to take information and actually integrate it and turn it into a lifestyle so I can actually tap in and expand myself. So when you operate in that aspect of when you're taking in information and you're not utilizing it to expand yourself, you're utilizing it to get a quick fix. This quick fix is also an aspect of false light, because this is also tapping into an aspect of magic called glamour magic, right? And glamour magic is just a type of magic that you do on yourself to get a different experience or perspective in your reality. So you can experience something very, very traumatic. We've all experienced this aspect of glamour magic. You can experience something very, very traumatic in your life, and your consciousness will psych you into thinking that experience was something completely different. When you acting like you really didn't just get hit by a car, you acting like somebody just a bird flew into you. No, that's an aspect of an ability that we have to create our reality. It becomes a form of magic against or spell against self when we're utilizing aspects of that false light and not fully understanding the experience from a high vibrational perspective and a low vibrational perspective. So also, when we are going throughout our experiences, we need to have that self-awareness of our own power and our own abilities and how we may be using our own abilities against ourselves. So that's another aspect of false light that tends to overpopulate the mind. You dig what I'm saying? To where you think your normal actions are your normal actions, but you probably don't know how powerful you are as a being and how much you shift and alter people's realities and alter your own realities based off of how much you don't know your own power, because the power that you are aware of is coming from the light. But you won't know the fullest spectrum of that until you go and understand your shadow's power and understand how your shadow helped you and protected you in certain situations, and then formulate a whole different cycle so you can understand why your shadow did that for you in the beginning. You dig what I'm saying? So
truthfully, the light has no power without the dark. You know what I'm saying? I say this all the time. The whole, anything of what you could think of metaphysical that be so lit that people think about with superpowers and all that type of stuff, it has no power without the shadow. You know what I'm saying? It's all about not even conquering, but merging with, becoming one with, understanding that this is the most holistic dance that you'll ever have. This is the most
literally yin and yang.
Exactly. It's the 1-2 step. It's the
push and pull.
Exactly.
Inhale, exhale. That's what we gotta understand. We don't inhale. We don't light. Nigga, no, we light dark. We inhale, exhale. So
and what's so deep is that, so if you understand yourself as knowing that you are an omniverse yourself, a universe yourself within yourself, then you understand that whenever the planet is moving, right, the sun ends up projecting different. So in certain parts of the world, now the sun is nighttime, but the sun is still up over here. You see what I'm saying? So understand that dualistic aspect of you, where this part of you has to rest, and this parts of you that, where you're luminous and you're lit and you're this and that. But that doesn't mean that you need to go and try to project this sun in this place, because this place is supposed to be in the shadows. This place is supposed to be doing shadow work, supposed to be doing this. And what happens is that we tend to create this false light and this false projection by projecting this source, this energy over here to this shadow realm in our planet, and it's not supposed to have it. Therefore, shifting the whole atmosphere of, of our planet, of our universe. You know what I'm saying? So technically changing the frequency. You see what I'm saying? Now fruits is growing different. The water moving different, high tides, earthquakes is happening. This happens in real life. We are a reflection of nature. So we have to understand that we really have to, this is what we talking about ma'at. We talking about balance. Yes. But we also talking about order.
Yes.
See, a lot of us focus on balance, but we don't focus on order. You can't have balance without order. We have to keep ourselves in order to be in balance. I say.
Yeah. Now I would definitely like to add on as well what tends to seep us into this false light consciousness, or this or also what I would like to just alleviate that term with is resistor consciousness, right? Or resistance consciousness, right? Because false light consciousness allows you to only integrate things or receive things that you see could be of a benefit to you, but as soon as it starts to trigger you, or as soon as it starts to go deeper than what you can actually experience or actually just be able to harbor, then you're not gonna be able to tap into it. So back to the resistor consciousness or this false light consciousness. When you resist an energy, you can also look at that as a form of Satan consciousness, because a Satan energy is a type of energy that will resist anything unless it can't get something out of it for itself or benefit from it for itself. So that's the same aspect of false light, to where it's like you're not integrating anything unless you can benefit from it, to where you don't gotta worry about your trauma, or you don't gotta worry about this, or you don't worry about why you always snapping on people every day. So you're resisting an energy. So the way you have to counterbalance resisting that energy is realizing who's the resistor. Is it the person outside of you, or is it you resisting yourself and actually receiving that level of pressure that is coming to you in a form that you don't normally experience, or you do experience and you run away from? You dig what I'm saying? So that's like the whole, is why we're bringing up reflect and false light, because false light or reflection is just running from its own original light. A reflection is just reflecting. It's not there. You dig what I'm saying? So what we are perceiving in this reality, we have to look at it from a perspective in which it's teaching us about something in ourselves that is low vibrational, not always high. It can teach you about the shadow too, everything in your reality. So the same way that you can see an angel number and it may mean 111, you're going through a portal. Well, 111 to somebody could mean coffin, and they about to go through a karmic cycle. You dig what I'm saying? So looking at both aspects of the spectrum, instead of just programming your mindset to always reflect the positivity or feed the positivity off a situation, because in doing that you create a shadow for yourself, because you're not feeding off your own positivity, and now your positivity mad. Why you ain't feeding off me? You know what I'm saying?
No, facts. So your positivity mad. That's hilarious. You know, I think so to you know what I'm saying, to continue that download, you know, being reflection is truthfully a part of what created this imbalance that we are in right now, that had us fall in vibration. You know, like I said, once again, the etymology of reflection is bent back. So we're talking about descending, you know, and so we walk around and we say, I am God, right? Everybody, y'all, I am God, I am goddess. But yet we say we are reflections, you know, which is a term, as Kyle's already broke down, a term of separation. So we are all source, right? We are like the cells, all those many cells that make up a body. You know, you may think you irrelevant. You may think nobody cares about you. You may think that your family, this and that, you may think you mean nothing, but no, you are a God. You are a goddess. You are source. But are you going to accept the reflection and the projection of your mother and your father? Are you going to accept the reflection and the projection of your spouse, your cousins, or are you going to embody the fact that you are source and connect with that oneness and really walk in that and not be a projection or a reflection of a projection? So when we say things, we got to understand the power of these words and walk around with that family, embody it. But don't embody it from an aspect of where you want to tap in and out of it, because then you're still creating a reality and now you're becoming a nigga in a God situation.
We have to understand that titles keep us idle at a vibration that we really can't rival. You know what I'm saying? Because we are putting it outside of ourselves again. When you, it's kind of tricky, right? Because when you tap into an aspect of yourself and you embody it now, or you say, oh, I am this person, or I am this deity, or I am that deity, then you're negating or creating a shadow to everything that you are not, because you're embodying just this one thing. So when you embody self as source, it's okay to resonate with certain energies. I'm not saying that, but when you embody yourself as source, you are making any form of title that you can create over yourself obsolete, because now you're not limiting yourself. You are the source to those titles that you are putting over yourself now. So again, that's another aspect of false light energy, is not understanding that you are multidimensional, and being multidimensional means that all beings are present at all times, but they speak through the energy or emotion in which that you're projecting at. So once you stuck at one vibration or an energy or projection, that's the only type of energy that you're gonna be pushing out. And if you're not doing the shadow work for that energy that you're working with, because you are a multidimensional being, you're only gonna be projecting from trauma, or transgenerational trauma, or past life trauma, or current life trauma. You dig what I'm saying? And that's another aspect of false light, because we put on this light, we see it's like Iron Man. Like Iron Man, when the first Iron Man suit, he seen that shit was right? But he did shadow work on the Iron Man suit. What did he do? Make Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 45. And now he got different aspects or versions of himself that he can embody to go do his shadow work. You dig what I'm saying? So when we inhabit aspects of these beings, that's another aspect that we have to understand.
And guess what? Bro just broke down how we connect with all the aspects of us. We'll also understand who else is connected to source. Our angels, our spirit guides, our ancestors.
Everything.
So whenever we go down that portal and up that portal, there's nothing but access and power in different aspects of us. That's why the reflection thing is kind of like an oxymoron too, because you can't embody a reflection, but you can literally embody any ancestor, any spirit. You can embody source at a drop of a hat, because that is
And
you.
we wonder why the ancestors be mad, because we be gang banging with them. We be gang banging against ourselves. We are reflecting shadow aspects of a certain ancestor or a certain being within ourselves that feels a certain type of way about what is going on in our reality. And another aspect of ourselves is coming up, which we would consider the ego, and saying, oh, this is this and this and that. And now these two aspects of yourself or your ancestors are going back and forth, because you are too stuck on hearing them and not integrating being you to be them. You dig what I'm saying? And in that, you create a false light, because you're separating aspects of yourself. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about as well. Coming into this third dimensional realm, everything everything has to keep its own law of its own energy field. Meaning, right, what I was explaining with the colors, red has to be red, blue has to be blue, right? The only reason we can mix colors in a physical sense is because it can create a whole new vibration. But those two things are still at the law of their energy field, even on a molecular level. If you go and look at some purple paint, you can see blue and red inside of it that's making it purple, right? So in this third dimensional realm, everything is to keep the law of its energy field. It is to be separate. And in doing that, that's when the mycelium network or the telepathy or that interconnected of oneness being source is integrated, because everything is balanced within itself. My aunt is balanced within herself. She's not being too judgmental, or she's not being judgmental enough. She's right in the middle. You dig what I'm saying? Or Anubis, right? He ain't being all crazy. He actually doing what he needs to do and guiding folks to that shadow version or that shadow realm of their self, so they can reach or that heaven consciousness or that heaven reality. So I say all that to say, we have to separate forms of ourself that we're experiencing to understand their emotions singularly, because the emotions that we consistently feel are not ours all the time. Yes, it might be the person right next to us, but it's also ancestors. You dig what I'm saying? It's also that angel that didn't get to understand its dark archangel aspect side. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So this is where that integration comes in, because now you're creating communication and alleviation for that flow state within self.
I'll say, I've been in these comments, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna say to what's family, Cosmic Royalty, if you want to tap in, inbox me. Just inbox me. I'm gonna say just inbox me on Instagram. I got something I got something I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about your comment, but not on the live. But definitely let's tap in for sure. And that leads me to my next point as well. So sometimes we create false lights as well to block us from facing shadow work when it comes to close family members. And so I've done it a lot.
Yep.
And it actually helps the pain. It feels like it anyway. It feels like, you know, and I'm not saying that this aspect is not something that is needed. I feel it is a part of the healing.
Of course.
But it's when we get trapped in it, when we get caught up in it, we start to love it. And then when we start to love it, we start to protect it. We start to protect it. And how we protect it is through projecting light into it. You say, how am I projecting light into something that I hate? Well, if you're actually operating from a reflection aspect, then your projection is a reflection. Therefore, that is light, and that's creating a light that is so. Your thought pattern of say they cussed you out, and now you're cussing them back out in your head. You're projecting a reflection, which that is a light. That's light that's being shifted. But through that perspective, you're creating a blockage, and now you can't even see the opportunity for healing. Not saying that's the situation for a tribe, for family, because we'll talk. But I'm saying for us in general, and for me, period, in my life, I have literally created that false light just to create an excuse to where I didn't have to deal with a certain person. You know what I'm saying?
And again, like that, one thing I want everybody in the tribe to do is ask themselves, and really don't ask your thoughts, ask your vibration. Have I been a false light? You dig what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you'll realize in aspects and ways in certain situations that you have been. Like one of which King was talking about is the family, right? We don't, once we become awakened and we realize our family isn't tapping into the same things that we are tapping in to make us awaken, we operate in false light, because the understanding comes up that we can bring or we got to forget about our family, right? And then it comes in with, no, we can't forget about our family because they're an actual part of our upgrade, is why we're experiencing this upgrade. So then we go into the aspect of how can we help them? But we then step back into the trying to force them to download again, which is actually operating in that false light energy and not understanding that we control their level of activation because we are the anchor to it, because we are the ones who have this level of depth of knowledge about the shadow. And if you look at it that way, and if you look at what you're doing for your cosmic lineage, your ancestral lineage, as this shadow work that I'm doing right now is a monumental point for everybody that I'm connected to, alive and in another realm, because they can tap into the same access or aspect of the shadow because it's in my vibration now. All they have to do is be around me, or all they have to do is be within me. You dig what I'm saying? So having that perspective and being able to integrate something that you hear thrown around so much, and tapping into the channel of the downloads about what false light is, you actually begin to understand how you become one and how it's an actual program that King was talking about. It is necessary. You dig what I'm saying? Just like how the darkness is necessary. It's how evil things and all of these aspects of energy are necessary to help Source experience itself and help Source to understand what it means to be Source, when it's not being Source and when it is being Source. So again, with this false light perspective, ask yourself, in ways have I been a false light? Or ask your ego, how are you being a false light to me today? Or higher self, how are you being a false light to the shadow today? Are you not being receptive to enough to the shadow's emotions? Really dialogue with yourself, because that is how you become more multidimensional.
So let's to continue that, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? I love how you grounded that and broke it down. From a light aspect, when we are operating and we desire to, be that upgrade for our family. We desire to be that light being, in our family. If we're doing that from a reflection aspect, then we are not able to, that's not alchemy. Therefore, if we don't understand alchemy, when we are on a mission and have purpose, then we can project a shadow on a person. And so that is also false light as well. And so we have to understand that that person is us. Like, we have to embody. So the reason why we have experience, one of the reasons why we have experiences are to relate. Relatability is connected to an emotion called compassion, called empathy, sympathy, different things like that. So we have these emotions, and those emotions are connected to different chakras, different channels. And so if we understand how to use these channels, then we can understand how not to project shadow work on a person, or project these certain negative things, or overly drop download on a person that we are actually in purpose and are chosen or called per se to bring that person to enlightenment. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we get mad and we doubt ourselves and we doubt what we're doing. We doubt our family. They tripping. Well, did you get into an argument with somebody yesterday and then didn't even handle that and moved on because I'm high vibrational, I'm a god, and went right over there and had a actual divine intervention with someone that was supposed to happen, but you projected on them and they rejected it, and now it's their fault? We have to really understand what true alchemy.
Yeah, family. Like, are you doing your shadow work? This is another way to perspectivize shadow work, right? Look at it as Christmas lights, right? You got the Christmas lights at the top, the real big ones. You know what I'm saying? Real big Christmas lights. Then connected to those real big Christmas lights are smaller Christmas lights. Connected to those one, smaller, so on, until it connects to your body, right? When you experience an emotion, you're not supposed to experience that emotion and stop at the small Christmas light that's right next to your body. You're supposed to be able to tie it back to all the way back to a trauma or a trigger from your childhood. Origin. You know what I'm saying? To its origin. I don't care if it's the smallest thing that you find your vibration off with. You dig what I'm saying? There's things that I find on a day-to-day basis where it's like, man, I'm operating in this energy. Then I realize, oh, that's because I didn't experience this when I was younger. Now I understand why I'm operating in that, and now I have the ability and the consciousness expansion of the past and the future and the present to experience how to alleviate that now, and me experiencing that emotion. So I said, are you doing your shadow work? Because the levels and layers in which you're able to uncrack something that you experience is how you actually tap into the shadow to move it to the light. The shadow isn't gonna just go to the light. The shadow ain't just gonna see the light and be like, oh, that's me, I'm gonna go over there. No, it's neuromelanated like you. We need experiences. We need visual aid. We need to see things in order to be able to, oh, we cool with that, right? We go in certain hoods. We know we good in certain hoods and places because we are familiar with the environment. We know the area. We can see. That's the same thing with your shadow. Your shadow needs to know the steps to the light, or otherwise it's gonna have fear and think it's gonna just disappear in the light
and be moving paranoid.
So you can't be a false light and self-sabotage your shadow and making your shadow think that it's not already light, and not from an aspect of where you're just using your shadow energy to just do all crazy shit. No, every aspect of your lower vibration, every aspect of your shadow actually is utilized in a high vibrational manner to help you understand yourself and your ability and the way you're mapped out in this reality. For example, I always love giving this analogy or this perspective on anxiety because I've experienced it, right? anxiety is very various aspects of it, but normally you just feel like bad things are gonna happen to you, right? But being an empath, being intuitive, being neuromelanated, we feel it internally inside of our body. We feel anxiety in our heart space, we feel it in our solar plexus, in our gut, right? Once I started practicing and doing meditation, I actually transmuted the vibration, the being, the consciousness of anxiety, and it actually moved outside of my avatar from the place where I was feeling it at, and it went outside of my auric field. And that same feeling I was feeling when I felt anxiety in my stomach, I could feel it at will when I moved my hand around things. So because I stopped allowing the vibration of anxiety to absorb me internally, I integrated it internally and expelled it outside of myself, so it is put in its place. Because what? It's an emotional body. It's an energetic body. It's supposed to be in the energetic body, not the physical body. You dig what I'm saying? It's part of the emotional body. So it is, you're supposed to experience it and be able to feel it physically, but through a holistic vibration energetically. And it's not a holistic vibration energetically once you feel like everything is happening to you. So this is for any negative experience, emotion, perspective, vibration, word. Yes, it's negative, but also understand what is it in its higher vibration. If you are an alchemist, if you are the medium between source and this earth plane, if you have a physical avatar that is comprised of all forms of elements, spatial matter, energy, why don't you think that you have the ability to alchemize anything that you experience without external help of somebody or some type of tool? You have it all inside of you. This is what the shadow allows you to know. This is what the shadow allows. This is the remembrance. Like, this is the whole aspect of this. What about the shadow Akashic Records? You know what I'm saying? We got the light Akashic. What about the shadow Akashic? What can your shadow do?
I've been holding this down low long enough. I've been sitting here like, man, bro, going in. And you sparked it for sure. So we talking about the origin, right? Let's go back there with everything you just said. Y'all don't forget.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
Let's go back to the origin real quick.
Yep.
With everything that you're saying, going to the origin, taking it to the origin. That's what you like I said, you just broke it all the way down. But something told me to go look up the etymology of origin. And it got real interesting. So when you think about going down, you think about the root. If you think about a plant, you plant that seed deep in the soil, right? So you got to go deep. That's shadow work. You got to go deep, and it's dark. It's dark in the soil. You know what I'm saying? Inside the ground, it's a dark hole. You know what
Worms,
I mean?
You got parasites, serpents, all type of
Exactly. But guess what the etymology of origin is? It means to rise. So if we take it and we think about this seed, planting this seed, and you go deep and you got to dig, what does that seed do as it starts to grow? It rises, it sprouts, you know what I'm saying? And that is literally the example of shadow work and of what we're talking about. And once again, an example of nature. You know what I'm saying?
And to even bring more of a perspective to that, because I've experienced this, just me dealing with plants myself and growing certain things, don't know light hit like that sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Now, some lights, I don't want to say they come close to it, but they do a damn good job, right? I was going green beans one time, right? And I was using a green light, right? A literal green LED light. And it grew fast, but it wasn't nothing compared to the real light or the real source or the real, you know what I'm saying, light that it was supposed to have for it to grow. You dig what I'm saying? So this is why we're bringing this awareness to this perspective, because it is necessary. It does allow you to grow, but at a very stagnant pace. And in these planetary cosmic alignments and all these all this stuff happening, we need to be able to keep up with these activations, right? Like, literally, you should be able to feel the next activation coming. You shouldn't even be worried about the next reading about this and that. You should feel it. You should be aligned with the planet's energy at this point. And
I ain't gonna lie to you, family. The energy on the planet right now, me and Kyle got so much stuff happening, we can't even talk. There's so many downloads and things that we haven't even got permission to speak on, and we're gonna get there. It's not time, but when I tell you, it is a different energy. We all should, like he said, we should feel it. I know I am a new being. You know what I'm saying? And I know, and I know my ancestors have are exposing themselves to me in ways that are like unrealistic to many of us, even to myself before it happened. So we have access. Source is here. We are source, but from the aspect of it's like the Jesus perspective, waiting on Christ to come back. What are y'all waiting on? You know what I'm saying? Source is here. We are here. We are already here. You are here, family. You have arrived. Are you going to accept you, or are you going to accept your reflection? You see what I'm saying? What are you going to accept? And your reflection is a holograph. I mean, it's a hologram.
False shadow.
It's not real. So just accept you so you can tap into your full power and you can walk in that thing. Because guess what? Even in that false light, since you are source, like I keep saying, you are still manifesting. You are still creating something. And a lot of us, I know a lot of my people, neuromelanated people, we complain so much. You know what I'm saying? Stop complaining. That is a false light that you're projecting in your life. Once again, when we talk about false lights, we're talking about things that blind abundance and prosperity in life, in any aspect. That can be from the way that you love yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror. That is abundant. You have an abundant smile. From the smallest thing to your bank account. These false lights are blocking all these different things from being able to come into our... Exactly.
Anything that resists an energy in which it's... Go ahead.
And if you are tapping in with someone, and I gotta say this because I ain't gonna lie to you, the community is, the so-called spiritual community is weird. You know, I'm gonna say it. And when you're watching and you're tapping in with these people, if they are embodying and projecting, and you see that they are promoting and aligning with things that are false lights, you might want to fall back. You know what I'm saying? You might want to fall back. You might want to, because guess what? They don't have, this is for me and Kai too. It's real talk out here, man. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Nobody has downloads that you don't already have. Have you accessed them yet? That's on you. Are you
this is all what we're doing. We're just bringing to. This is why we look at, keep it a buck. Like, this is why we look at things outside of ourselves as something like, it's like, oh damn, like it's not like we're trying to idolize these things, but it's like, damn, they got something, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? We value it, right? This is why. It's because that thing is King is saying right there, we already have it. They're just giving you the perspectives on the downloads you already have. That's all me and King are doing. It's giving you perspectives or light codes or shadows of the downloads that you are just having lying dormant inside of you.
That's why we call them cheat codes, because we just help you get to that a little faster. But really, you can do it. You don't need mycelium to tap in with any type of, you know, intelligence. That's just a cheat code.
And let me tell you guys, that's the most facts thing, because at the beginning of my journey, still to this day on my journey, my team's source, they be on me when I be using crystal. Like, this is the only crystal that they really allow me to wear all the time. Anything else outside of myself that I'm using as a tool, they're like, no, because you are the tool. Like, I want an ancestral altar so bad, but every time I'm thinking about it, it's just, I get more downloads about how I am the ancestor altar. Yeah. How I do, you know what I'm saying? I get offerings to self through, you know what I'm saying? So, again, understanding that you don't need nothing. All you need is you. Like, really understand that, really understand yourself. And I guarantee you, if you study thyself and know thyself and remember thyself and become wise thyself enough to the point that you can find every single thing that you're using as a tool outside of yourself, inside of yourself.
And guess what? Hold on, because I got to ground that, my brother. Because guess what? It's all about perspective. So if you look at us as you, that's the cheat code. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at us outside of you as a reflection, that's where it's misinterpreted.
Exactly.
So, and it's okay for us to get out here and get information from each other. We grow, and me and Kai on the phone 4 hours, damn near every day, y'all. No cap. And it get real, and it be downloads and downloads and downloads. That's amazing. But I look at Kai as me, literally. He looks at himself as me. So we have to understand it from that aspect. And guess what? Your shadow work will show to you based off of how you treat people, because you look at them as you. So if you love yourself, you're going to be such an amazing person and love other people. But if you actually deal with these certain battles, you got self-hate issues in your head. You be talking bad to yourself. You're gonna be cussing people out. You're gonna be, so it's actually a cheat code to look at everyone as you, all of us as source one by one as a whole. And this will actually expose you to you.
And let me ground that too, because we're not just talking about random people that you meet on a day-to-day basis going to the grocery store. Right. Of course, you're gonna have manners with them. We talking about the people that you deal with every single day, like just to hold myself accountable. I know exactly where I'm doing that. It's with my little cousin. I know every day when I get a chance, I know I can annoy him. Not because I just want to annoy him, but because I know that's an aspect of myself, just not having a brother at a young age, that I need to experience that playfulness energy. And knowing that he holds a lot of space, being a starseed, he could just take it. Like, he don't be, you know what I'm saying? So understanding that it's not just about being nice to people that you don't know. It's about being nice to the people you do know. You know what I'm saying? Again, holding yourself accountable. That's this whole... If you are going to use that false light program, you need to hold yourself accountable to a very extreme extent. You dig what I'm saying? To whereas if you operate within the source program or the holistic, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent program, you understand that everything that you experience, you're supposed to experience, because there's always something that you're gaining a new perspective about. To whereas the false light perspective or that reflection perspective, you're only gaining new perspectives on what is being given to you. It's like you're being you're not allowing source to spoon feed you the information and give you activations. You're allowing the people to do it, and it's putting you under a cyclical nature of it's like that we all got that favorite snack, and we know if we get this snack, the bag is gone. Yeah, and if we got 20 or more packs of it in the pantry, them 20 packs might be gone too. As soon as we start, we can't stop. That's how it is with this false light energy. And when you again allow yourself to source your own reflection, you get a dopamine hit off yourself. How powerful is that? If you become your own dopamine hit, and not in the sense of abusing of your power over yourself or outsmarting yourself in certain situations, that's an aspect of false light. But actually outsmarting or insmarting yourself to situations. Okay, I'm here. Why am I here? What am I here for? Instead of getting into these situations and manipulating them based off of you knowing you can control the energy of the room because you're able to do that. No, understand that, but allow the energy in the room to be the way it is. See who else is trying to control it.
You know what's deep, bro? So I got some bars. I don't know if they're on one of our records or not, but where I say, dopamine, dope fiends. I'm gonna take. I say, you need rehab before you relapse, and we really gotta understand that. Like you said, that we could literally become our own drug in many ways.
And this is the thing. I bet you a lot of us in the collective have been tapping back into a more physical sense of life that we've been living, or when we was into the 3D. We may find ourselves seeping back into certain things within our 3D mentality having its heightened mind. And it's because of just that. We're not fully integrating these experiences from the shadow perspective. We're just experiencing, we're doing this thing because we like to do this. We're doing this thing because we like to do this. And now that we're finding out about this light aspect that, we're not supposed to be using microwaves, or we're not supposed to be using this, or we're not supposed to be using, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. We completely separate from it, but without understanding it first. Or without processing it first, or what King was just talking about. So a lot of us may find ourselves back in the same cycle. Or it's like, dang, I thought I left this alone. I thought this was over with. And we're here again. We're not going deep enough into those depths of the experience. We're too much in the experience. We're too much. This is the thing, like, even being in the now, this is what we have to be in the now, but omnipresent and omnipresent and we have to be all knowing of the past and the future, but still experiencing it now. We still have to know that this could happen, and we also have to know that this did happen. But we also have to know what is happening right now is the only thing that matters, even if we know all that. You dig what I'm saying? Because anything other than that, you're just feeding into a false narrative or a false light, and therefore creating a false reality based off that false light not having its shadow work done for it.
So I wanna ask the question to ground the episode. I know whenever we probably did the promo and with the title, y'all was like, what is that? What you know what I'm saying? Probably some people probably understood, you know, but does it make sense now? You know, those false lights creating false realities.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
If y'all have any questions on anything that we talked about as well, drop them down below, because we want to help y'all to integrate this program as easily as possible. So when y'all wake up the next rising, y'all can understand another aspect of y'all multidimensional self that y'all do have, that does have a high vibrational side. That's what we're helping y'all to understand. Just as much as this false light is bad, it is good if you know how to use it the correct way. It's like a flashlight. Like King was saying, you know how to use that flash or that green light on my green beans. If you know how to put that green light at the right temperature, the green beans can grow fast. But it still ain't got nothing on the sun. But you can still use it. But know that there's still something that is more powerful, which is the shadow.
I say. And y'all, everybody, if everybody can share this live with one person or a few people, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely have to become the algorithm, because we are the true algorithm. And they use it against us, you know, with this, what they use with technology. And so we are asking as a tribe that we tap into our mycelial network energy, and we actually spread, you know what I'm saying, these messages. If it resonates with your soul, we definitely would appreciate you, you know, spreading it and sharing it. Even when it comes to creating clips, whatever, we're not on that type of time. We don't care about none of that. So if y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, post clips, whatever, like, we would be very grateful. You know what I'm saying? So, because obviously the more ways to get this message out, the better. Because,
and much gratitude to all the tribe that does repost. One I know who be on it all the time. I think on Instagram is Rod Watson. I don't care what we post, he reposted it.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. You know, Rod is OG. You know, Rod been here. So I did some studies trying to figure out how long it's been. And Shadowwork Sundays has actually been a year and 1 month. Rod has been here since the first live. Bro, no cap. Rod and I'm Authentic and On Point, the first live, bro. They've been here since the first live. Like, so much gratitude. Appreciate you for shouting that Rod, bro.
Nah, for sure, man. Cause that's the thing, like, just for, I know certain aspects of work is being done when you can reciprocate energy. You dig what I'm saying? And understand that all of what we are doing, these are heavy downloads. You may not get them right here in this episode, but I guarantee you these are seeds that are being planted that you, depending on the work, self-love that you have for yourself, you have the potential to water. But if you're not watering them, they may blossom in the next 3 years. You dig what I'm saying? But it is to be understood that the reason why there is duality, or there is this shadow aspect, this light aspect, is because they are reciprocating energy to each other. You dig what I'm saying? They are realizing aspects of themselves that are mixed up, and they're putting themselves back into place. You dig what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, any form of y'all tapping in is greatly appreciated, because y'all are helping this being of what we call Shadowwork Sundays to exist. You dig what I'm saying? And actually be a vital role in this shift in the collective, because everybody need healing. Everybody need healing. And Shadowwork allows you to get healing done in such a rapid way. It may be immense. It may be very vexing. It may be very frustrating, very, very emotional. But if you can make it through that, I promise you that other aspect of the polar opposite of that energy is right there for you, because now you have screamed when you were in shadow work. You didn't project at somebody when you were in your light aspect because you didn't do the shadow work. But once you took the time to self-reflect and you scream and you get that, or you cry or you punch something, now you're keeping that energy in that energy field instead of doing it to somebody else. You dig what I'm saying? So much gratitude to the tribe, man. Everybody in the chat, man.
For sure. So look, so let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this quick announcement. Y'all watch I probably can't see in my eyes. It's watering like a mug right now. Much gratitude to you, family. To Billy for sharing it on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You know, definitely the energy is reciprocated. You know, peace, abundance, and wholeness to you, my brother. So the announcement is, I'm literally, my eye, hold on one second, dude.
Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments, man. Again, if y'all have any questions dealing with anything that we talked about on this live today, drop them down below. If y'all still not understanding what false light is, if y'all are stuck on how y'all been inhabiting or operating in false light, and y'all think it actually is light, or it's coming from a great place, you still have to hold yourself accountable and understand that even if it is coming from a great place, whatever the case may be, it's still an aspect of yourself. So again, any questions that y'all have on this episode, King, your mic is not muted, but any aspects of or questions that y'all have on this episode, definitely tap in.
Hey, that was smooth, G.
Yeah.
I'm over here getting right. I'm talking about, I'm over here, tears coming down. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. But so let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I've been having y'all as y'all speak. Every time I'm trying to talk about it, something happened. So me and Kai have in this year have dropped 2 projects. We dropped 223 at the beginning of the year, and then we dropped Shadow Realm, Mycelium Healing. In March, I think.
Around that time.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So, and when we dropped these projects, y'all actually requested an album. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, we need an album. And so those were mixtapes. And we tapped in, but now we're actually working on an album, an official album. It's gonna be different. You know, it's gonna be way different than anything that you have heard, probably ever, but definitely anything that we've ever created. Production wise, we really putting in, the hard work from a business aspect and everything as well, So get ready for that. We're not giving y'all the title right now. We're not giving y'all the date. It's coming soon, very soon. But we want to let y'all know. And so also, I want to create an opportunity for y'all to, if y'all want to support the process of the album, then y'all can donate at Cash App. So I'm gonna put the Cash App on the screen, and y'all can actually donate to the process, to the project, to the mixing, the mastering, the beats, music videos, visuals. We got some merch we want to drop. We got many different things that we want to do, but obviously it does cost money. And honestly, we're gonna do it, either way. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that. But just for y'all, if y'all want to have an opportunity to support, it's not a certain amount, just donations, and we rocking out.
And let me tell y'all, I had false light music. Like, I ain't gonna say I had false light music. I had a false light perspective of what I was creating in my music, right? And through this project, I'm realizing how I just needed to be within a certain vibration. You dig what I'm saying? And now that I'm doing that, I'm talking about the level of dormant energy that was in this vibration of creation. It's like, bro, I don't know what I'm tapping into, but things are just coming out.
Hey, I'm talking about, the records are amazing, fam. These are different. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I get excited. I almost gave y'all one tonight. I ain't gonna cap. I knew this episode, we almost gave y'all one. But like I say, it's an album, so it's gonna hit different, family. And it's not, it's pure downloads. Even just on my part alone, but just didn't use at least 15 songs. I probably wrote 9 songs before I got to the song. It was like, okay, this is where we finally here now. we talking like, yeah, it's just pure alignment. You know, we're not making music. We're actually scribing ancient messages, and we are so excited to share it with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
No, we gonna wait. For sure, family. Also, I'll share on social media. Much gratitude, family. And so, no, we ain't gonna think about that yet. So, if y'all don't have any questions for us, obviously rocking out again next Sunday. We will continue to tap in. The platform is shifting and changing. We are going into a different energy. As you can tell probably from this episode, you know, we are following source, and we not even following, we are making sure that we are in alignment, that we are one with source, that we are not creating false lights between us and source. And through doing that, we are receiving download, and we are shattering and breaking through certain things. And it's opening our channel to a more open way. So so get ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kai said, you know, big manifest, big Kai, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would just also like to add on as well with false light. We need to pay attention to the light we can perceive, right? So obviously our physical reality, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the light of basically seeing with your mind's eye in the physical realm. So when you are able to see energy and things like that, or see shadow beings, or see this or see that, right? Anytime that you operate in an aspect of fear to where you allow it to subjugate over your life, that is also a false light projection. Because sometimes when we experience things, we are ready for them. Our soul is, but our conscious mind isn't. So then we tap into a perspective and perceiving this thing of something that is not. And then it actually becomes that thing that we think it is, and then actually starts to mess with us. You dig what I'm saying? So have that perspective, not just about beings, but about life in general. When you operate in false light energy, anything can, you put a target on your back, because anything can affect you. You're looking at everything as something that's gonna happen to you, or somebody's doing this type of spell to you, or this type of evil eye map. No, you doing it on yourself because you think that it can happen to you. Not saying that it can't, because it can. It is a real thing. But when you operate on a higher level of consciousness, all of those things become obsolete. To whereas now you understand that you are no longer reflecting the projections of nothing in reality. You are only reflecting you, to integrate you, to project source. So
keep going. My fault.
Now I was gonna say, so yeah, we may be all these different deities, we may be a Bastet in a segment, but are you you? Why are we running from our government name or the name that we was given? You dig what I'm saying? That still holds power. Who are you? You dig what I'm saying? Like, my government name, my name means one who lays down the law of the will of I am. Why would I want to be a segment? No disrespect to the goddess, but that's powerful. So who am I gonna embody in that multi-dimensional name? I'm gonna embody all the aspects of it, but I'm gonna still be me because I am source, not a reflection of something else that is already existent. I am it.
I say. And so we're gonna to rock out. We're gonna take this request from the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Play a record off the project, and no to me, no better record to play than King Manifest, Kai Khalil, Word Spells. Let's get it.
Yeah, I heard this in a minute.
syllable in a different tone can shift your program. Hey, I like to think when I speak, I be critiqued. Saying good morning in the rising will not help you reach your peak. The correct usage of our diction really spilling out our genes. But at times we use trendy words without even knowing the meaning. Like, did you know the word pray means to beg? And I'm not begging for nothing. Meditate with affirmations in my head. I don't get blessings, that means be less than. I don't do inequalities, I'm a holistic man. I used to not care what I said until I paid attention. Words been shifting my reality with some paid attention. See, when you vocalize your throat, it's all about intention. Speaking through your root can leave you stumped and have you talking different. Yeah, real different. Spells and incantations in the music, real tricky. That's why you got Kai Khalil, King Manifest, giving real image to reality just by using words and real vision. I say words, spells, spells. Words what you say you might glitch out and change words, spells, spells. Hey, every syllable in a different tone can shift your program. And I say words, spells, spells. Watch what you say, you might glitch out and change round. Words, spells, spells. Hey, every syllable in a different tone can shift your program.
Let's to our faces. Ain't that some shit? The mention
Bro,
switching.
how did I
as
literally...
a word flip. At that
bro.
point, as we become a word flip. I'm in here, yeah, bro.
Bro, how did I apologize. I played the version that didn't even have my verse on it. And I just dropped that in here real quick, you know what I'm saying, for the tribe. But you know what? We gonna still rock out. I got one for y'all. This is what we gonna do. We gonna ground this energy, right? And so once y'all leave from here, we want y'all to go into a holistic, peaceful, calm, open, relaxing place of meditation. And then they gonna play Man in the Mirror. They trying to play me right now.
Yo, with the intergalactic episode. Look at that.
Facts.
Still shout a word. Still shout a word. Still shout a word. Sunday. Still shout a word. Open your heart. Still shout a word. Sunday. When I meditate, I go within. Getting grounded, I can feel a crystal grid. Whoever smile while you crying tears. That's how you know the healing real. Meditation, the awareness to feel. Realize everything and what it is. When you discover the universe within. Overwhelmed with pieces, I prepare to release. I was scared of my shadow, but I ain't running from me. I know the power indeed. Deep in meditation, that's my ancestors. Disconnect from the matrix, I took off the glasses. Now I know what happened, we are in the galactic beings. Meditation, an ancient practice. Meditation, an ancient. Every time you sleep or take a nap, you meditating. You call it a dream, but you traveling places. Can't be scared of aliens when you unlocking your spaceship. It's the breath of life, you meditate daily. Close your eyes, take in the breath of God. Connect to the divine. This so electrifying. Close your eyes. Take in the breath of God. Connect to the divine. This so electrifying. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation. I feel so alive. You know the vibes. This how we ride. We live outside time. Get down lows like hard drives. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation.
I close my eyes just to see, just to speak in light language, telepathy, channel downloads after uploads when I breathe. Just like that, and now I'm free. Let's take a walk in our mind, let's just breathe. 1, 2, 3. how you'll see all the things you couldn't hold. It's been piling and it's piling and you could not see your goal. But you see it now, so take all of your problems by the throat. False promises, no common sense, feeling ominous. Put it all inside this crystal hard drive, we finna process it. Like the source, I humbly ask you to put some God in it. Darkest of the ethers, I ask you to put some raw in it. Now hold this hard drive by your heart and insert the upgrade. I am free to release thoughts, become one with how you release and release through you are. Now you can come back to your body, defeating all of your odds. That's against you, what's against you? Nothing is. Can you sense you, present tense you? We invent who defends you, what defends you? Coexist, all inside you, what's behind you? Take a glance.
Peace, light, abundance, wholeness, prosperity, perseverance, enlightenment, shadow, alchemy, and integration upon you.
Ashe. And to add on to that, anybody in the tribe, again, who is filtering through this information and don't quite understand it, feel free to hit us up so we can catch you up to speed in which we're talking about this false light information, or just rewatch the episode and re-ask yourself the same questions. But again, much reciprocation, much downloads, uploads, activations, and integrations, and much growth through the heart space to each and every one of y'all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in, and we definitely gonna see y'all next Sunday.
I say.
Candlelight in the rising, and I feel amazing. Preparation for earth.
And finally, bro, I'm ready to turn this ring light off.
Man, no. Facts, bro. Hey, we still going live Saturday, bro?
What you talking about, G?
Bro, we supposed to be grounding the sound every Saturday at 10:10.
Oh yeah, 10:10. You sure right, bro. We definitely got to do that. You know, how about this? We start this Saturday. You know, this coming up Saturday, and we just rock out like we've been doing.
I say, nah, we definitely could do that. You know what I'm saying? So every Saturday at 10:10 a.m., we are grounding the sound. Everything you've been going through stressfully throughout this week, today, this Saturday is where you're able to get some alleviation.
Also, if you have just started your healing journey or your shadow work journey, and you feel like, man, they moving the light work, and I still need to learn more about my shadow, understand we are always going to be doing shadow work. But in this process of light work, go back and tap in on those past episodes, because this is pod class, not podcast. Let's get it.
So anytime that you see us going live on Sunday for Shadow Work Sundays, the previous day, Saturday, is where we will be grounding the sound on Instagram Live. So it's easily accessible for each and every one of you. So make sure y'all tap in every Saturday on Instagram Live at I Am King Manifest 777, at Ak Khalil on Instagram at 10:10 a.m. to ground the sound. I shake.
Peace.